Hey nerds, return with us to Middle Earth as we review and discuss The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power Season 2, starting now. Welcome back to the Nerd Social. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Paula.
As always, if you want to jump ahead of the intro to our analysis or rating, see the chapter links below. Alright, so The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is back after 2 year, is it 2 year? I think it's 2 years gap. I think the last time we were here talking about this show was back in 2022. And they are dropping 3 episodes as a start, which is good, as we'll get into in a bit. If you have forgotten, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is based upon Tolkien's writings, but it's not the Lord of the Rings books. It's the earlier writings of the Silmarillion in the Second Age. Basically, it's the time when the rings were forged, and the Lord of the Rings books and also The Hobbit is during the Third Age. The way that we're going to do this, since they dropped 3 episodes, is that we're going to give our general review of the 3 episodes as a group, and then we'll dive into each episode, and then we'll probably break this conversation up into different videos so that you guys can digest all the information. So Paula, what do you think of the beginning of the Lord of the Rings Season 2, the first 3 episodes that they gave us? We're reviewing this, by the way, or we're talking about this on Monday. Okay?
I like them a lot. I always love it when the story gives more context and explanation as to what happens and how things came to be. And that's exactly what those 3 episodes do. So I thought it was great. It brought a lot of things together.
Yeah, I like the episodes too. I will say that I understand why they dropped 3 episodes. If everyone just watched the first episode, I think they would have been complaining about some of the same issues that they complained about in the first season. The pacing of this show, like, not a whole lot happens. You really need the 3 episodes to touch all the people in this cast, because we have people in Mordor, we have people in Khazad-dûm, we have people in Númenor, we have people in Lindon, we have people in a region where Celebrimbor is. They don't touch on all the people in all these places in the first episode. You kind of left wanting if you just have the first episode, but they do touch on them over the course of the 3 episodes. And then we also see what happens. It's not a giant spoiler because Isildur is in the beginning of The Lord of the Rings, the movie. So the other thing I forgot to mention is that if you've seen the Lord of the Rings movie, the Second Age ends basically with that battle that begins the movie. And Isildur is in that battle. So the fake out death that they gave him last season, of course, was gonna not be a real death. They didn't really kill him. He was just lost. Anyway, so we get to see basically updates on every single character in these 3 episodes. So I appreciated that. I will say that while I appreciated the detail, they do probably need to start speeding things up with the timeline. Just looking at the significant dates in the Second Age, so I don't want to get into spoilers and this when we're just talking about these 3 episodes, but we're just at the parts where the rings are being created, and there's like several battles, and those battles happen over the course of like hundreds of years. So they need to start jumping years. Unless Amazon is going to pay for the show for 10 years, they need to start jumping ahead a couple hundred years here or there, because it's really almost linear. I don't know. I think that the course of the entire season, the first season maybe was a couple months, so we can't move at that pace and cover the entire Second Age, especially if they want to end where the Lord of the Rings movie began with that battle, which I assume is where they want to end, because that's of course a giant battle. So that's like 3,000 years ahead of where we are right now in the story. It's year 3441, and we are around the time the rings are being forged. Not 3,000 years, it's 1,500 years, but still we need to jump hundreds of years to get there. And unless they're going to do that in 10 years, they do need to speed up the story. I do appreciate them spending some time explaining how the rings have been forged, but I don't need them to spend the entire season on it. We haven't watched past episode 3, even though we got all 8 episodes, because it took long enough to prepare just to talk about 3 episodes. But hopefully we get to the next couple episodes. Hopefully in the next episode, actually, we jump ahead a little bit, or we start seeing the story progress a little bit. But yeah, so how would you rate the 3 episodes, the season, I guess, premiere overall?
Oh, I'll give them an 8.
An 8? Okay.
Yeah.
A road trip? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give them room to grow. I'm gonna give them a 7, a dinner party. It's nothing that that was terrible in these episodes or anything. There are actually really cool points in the episodes that we will get to when we actually start breaking down the episodes. But yeah, there wasn't anything that was like so high that would pull up the average of the 3 episodes for me anyway. But hopefully things start to pick up a little bit. And 7 is not a terrible score. It's just, like I said, it's the beginning of the season. Hopefully it continues to improve from here. All right, that is what we think, but we want to know what you think. Comment down below with your thoughts. And if you found this review useful, don't forget to like the video and share and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of film and TV. And we will see you in the next one. All right, guys. Bye.